Unlimited. Holy. And that is why you hydrate after the gym. Hello, beautiful people. How's it going? Today, we got the anticipated Emperor box. I'm really excited to review this. It's definitely supposed to be pretty unique on the market compared to other Palpatine, or Darth Sidious more appropriately, Sabers. Like, this is supposed to be high quality, and as you know, Theory loves Darth Sidious. He loves this guy so much, so I know a lot about and Carrie got into this. So with that, let's get on and look at this box, and we'll see what number I got. Okay, everyone, here we have one of 200 of a limited release by Theory Sabers known as the Emperor. Well, at least I believe the would be a perfect addition to just the Emperor. That being said, this is quite a beautiful lightsaber. Now, when Theory marketed this using actual gold, brass, and chrome, I was quite curious how common that actually is when it comes to certain high-end replica sabers, or just high-end sabers. Now, certain sabers would get this treatment, but as far as I know, a good chunk of what you find on the market just uses a special paint job or analyzation of the certain metals in order to give the illusion that's using, say, like gold or brass, etc. But now, according to Theory's actual description, this is actual brass, gold, and chrome. No expense spared, as far as I know. I could be wrong. I'm not exactly savvy when it comes to being able to tell what's legitimate metal and what's fake. But I like to believe that he's not lying to us, or I didn't misinterpret his words. That being said, this is a beautiful lightsaber, guys. I mean, oh my god. Holding this just feels right. When you hold this thing, you feel less like a peasant, which is going to be something I'm going to say every time I show this to any group of visitors to my humble home. This is a very, very nice lightsaber. It represents everything that you would associate with Sidious, at least when he was known as Palpatine, you know, in the Republic and in the Empire. I'm just talking about like that elegance, that snobbiness, that pretentious side. This guy has the nerve to use certain materials, particularly electrium, which is well known in Star Wars lore to be a very prestigious metal, purely for aesthetic purposes, to demonstrate one's status within the Jedi Order. In fact, Spontaneous Wave, sorry if I butcher that, he made an interesting video about it. In fact, he made a couple of videos about how this lightsaber would offend the Jedi at the time, and just Jedi of any age. It was typically a sign to indicate your mastery. It was pretty much a status show off flex, saying like, yes, I reached a certain point in my training and my status as a high-ranking Jedi. I get to use electrium. And this was also made from Fic, which is a special rare material in Star Wars lore that is known to be one of the few things resistant to lightsabers within the Star Wars universe, which I find kind of ironic because, let's be honest, I mean, when you hold this thing, it's not exactly long like other lightsabers. This thing is hardly much bigger than Yoda, so I do think this was just him showing off of how wealthy he was and what he was able to do. In fact, he had two of these, which I find very fascinating. Another interesting thing about this in Star Wars lore is that Sidious always considered these to be beneath a true master, unless needed. I mean, he never said that last part, but you could tell he used it when he felt it was actually appropriate to use it. But yeah, it's a sentiment that's actually reflected with plenty of Star Wars fans throughout the decades of Star Wars lore existing, that a true master would never need to use a lightsaber at a certain point. But I'm personally a firm believer that it should always be kept as an option, hence why even Sidious had to use lightsabers at a certain point. But he did find it beneath him, and we all know how much this guy loved to use force powers over his lightsaber. It was addictive. And Something that I did with this saber, it has a screen accurate emitter, which gives you an option between that and the regular emitter, which allows you to attach a blade. This is one of the few sabers I've seen where it actually lets you change the aesthetic on a saber to where you can make it look like accurate, screen accurate in appearance, which I think is very welcoming because for the emitter, I think that's definitely a must. Another interesting thing I love about this is that, as theory's shown, this was designed to simplify removing the soundboard, which it has a nice screw that you can just gradually open and pull out the board itself, which reveals a hollowed, empty hilt. That is super convenient. Not many sabers can do that, but they managed to make it work with this. That is stupid convenient, allowing you to pull it out and just, leave it as it is. Like, I wish there were more sabers like that, but very few sabers can actually have that. Who knows? That might become more mainstream. Also, when we're looking at the limited aspects of this product, the box is pretty much a very, very nice lightning themed box, which I think was really, really appropriate. It's definitely got a nice vibe to it, to where if you looked at it, you're immediately going to think about Dark Sidious, because let's be honest, he's like the guy when it comes to lightning. And interestingly, once again, there's nothing unique inside the box cover, at least when I looked around. It's just plain white, like you've seen with the snip sabers that I got a while ago. But that's pretty minor. Another cool thing is that this bag that I'm about to show you is definitely something that I like a lot. On video, it kind of gives an orange tint to it. Maybe it might be a blood orange type of color, but it is supposed to technically be red. I do see a shade of orange, which I think complements it, but it's just a discreet bit. Just enough for you to look at it closely and wonder if it's really purely red. Also, something that I do appreciate that I don't know if this is going to be a new standard now, is that this stand, even before I got this saber, some of my other sabers already were coming with that. Yeah, you can see some of them right there. And I really hope that that becomes a optional thing. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be the smooth black stand. It can probably be the transparent one that some people may prefer. I just hope that he'll keep it as an option for either or, just for the sake of convenience for everyone. And finally, I would like to say that for the first time when I actually removed this from the bag, nice bubble bag, it came with a indication of QC, which is, I'm going to assume, quality checked, which I think is a good practice. You do want to have that assurance that something was checked, it was inspected, like there was no issues, just to indicate with a sticker of some kind that, yeah, physically, the person who buys the saber can see that, hey, it's all good. And yeah, this saber definitely passed the quality assurance aspect. At least I haven't found any issues with it. So now I'm going to show what it's like when I actually use it. Alright guys, so here we have the blade attached to the saber. That just sounds so right. I'm not gonna lie, holding the saber while it's active makes me feel less like a peasant. Don't be fooled by what I have here. Living in San Diego, California, most of my money goes to my way of living. Well, not most of it, but you get the idea. It's too damn expensive in cities like San Diego within California. California is way too expensive. With that being said, this is a really cool saber. Let's try a different color. Actually, blasphemy. Let's not change the color on that sound front, and let's just look at other.
Obi-Wan.
Blue? I think blue looks good on this. You got the blue, green, and red, the three primary lightsaber colors you see in Star Wars lore.
Anakin. Master Yoda.
I think green could work a bit.
Master Yoda.
Okay, so something you notice, you hold the hilt on the side.
Anakin. Obi-Wan.
it goes in a certain direction of order when it comes down to the profiles you're loading up.
Anakin. Master Yoda.
Master Windu!
Purple's not bad. It probably looks blue on the camera. I do apologize for that. And yeah, this does come with the profile soundboard with the profile. I'm sorry, the Profi soundboard with the profile of the prequels, which makes sense because, you know, Sidious is well known for his prequel appearances more so than the original trilogy. And let's be honest, that's the most fun that we love to see him at. Yeah, let's try another one.
Count Dooku. Obi-Wan. At last we will have revenge.
My personal favorite Sith. Yeah, up there with Revan. But I definitely love Maul as one of my top 3. Let's change the color a bit. No cyan aqua. Let's try another one. Yellow, oh, maybe orange, slight hints of green. Orange. I think orange looks good. You guys know I think yellow and orange are very underrated colors.
I'm quite on Juno. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
He's no good to me dead. You ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
I think this is my favorite Sith Dark Side sound front. God, the power. Unlimited power. Oh my god, this sounds amazing. Oh man. Just look at this, guys. Look at this. Look at it. Oh man. No, Indigo.
Jedi General Grievous. Darth Sidious.
Let's play his music. Oh man. This is the type of stuff you sleep to. Well, at least I assume Theory does. Man, this is so cool. Well, guys, I'm very, very happy with this saber. I'm very, very thankful that I had the opportunity to buy this. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Elephant in the room. Fro, which plaque did you get? You know, I remember that when I ordered this, I waited for about an hour before I placed the order. I know it was kind of risky because this was an anticipated saber. I mean, it did sell out, and due to the quality that stands out, the material, it was a bit of a risk. But it came, I saw, opportunity to buy.